Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is out in the UK today, and I just got out of the 1:10 showing of seeing this movie. However, is this a nice conclusion to the Indiana Jones franchise, or is this a disappointment? Well, I can say, guys, I had a really good time with this movie. Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel, whether you're new or returning, and thank you so much for taking your own time to check out this video, where today we're going to give a spoiler-free review on the movie Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Directed by James Mangold and starring Harrison Ford, Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Mads Mikkelsen, Indiana Jones races against time to retrieve a legendary dial that can change the course of history. And just before we go a little bit further into today's review, I would just want to give a quick thank you to all my awesome Patreons who really help to support the channel. If you're interested in joining Patreon yourself, the link is down below in the description box. You can also shop and buy some merch, and I would love to see you over on my Patreon, where you can access to movie reviews, adventure days, vlogs and Patreon watch parties and so much more content. Thank you so much for listening. Now let's get back to the review. So Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I was intrigued when this movie was announced. I was certainly kind of wondering, okay, well, Harrison Ford at an older age now portraying this role of Indiana Jones, how is that going to work after this movie is around 2.5 hours long? I can say, guys, for most part this movie is pretty good. I've definitely got some positives and I've definitely got a couple of negatives here, so right away let me go into some of those positives. So firstly, the positive for me is that the cinematography here is absolutely awesome. It's really just great to see these like on-set locations, just the adventures of Indiana Jones, and it's great just to have Harrison Ford back as Indiana Jones once again, and possibly for the final time. And I just think that with this movie and how they go about this story arc, it's kind of refreshing. It's something a little bit different to an extent, while also honouring the original installments before this one, and for that aspect of it alone, I can only kind of praise the movie, because with honouring those kind of previous aspects as well, you're going to be kind of playing into a little bit of nostalgia, a little bit of that fan service, but also just delivering us an entertaining story. And I feel for most part this movie does entertain us with that story. Yeah, there's elements here where there's some really cool cameos. I'll not mention who for spoilers. John Williams' score is very present throughout the movie, and once again is so iconic, and it really just helped to elevate this movie even more than its initial potential. Throughout the story, I found myself really engaged in those set pieces, and the good news is, for most part of this trailer, it pretty much shows you kind of like bits and pieces of what happens in kind of like the first 30-45 minutes, which I actually found really to be refreshing, because a lot of trailers nowadays shows you basically the entire movie, like, you know, A, B and C, and it's left with like kind of no surprises. But what I found is that actually watching the trailer, yeah, it does definitely show some of those bigger sequences that are about to happen, but some of it is also left as a surprise for you to experience. I also found the movie to actually have some genuine stakes to it as well, and some tension moments where I was wondering, you know, what is going to happen next? What is going to be the fate of our characters? And that alone, to have that kind of tension in a movie that you would kind of think maybe would be predictable, and that elements there is, but I just found myself enjoying those moments of tension and being sucked into the story. Now, we've also got a supporting cast here of Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I actually liked her performance. Now, we will get into that a little bit later into the review, but I felt like she was a really good supporting character. Definitely kind of just helped Indiana Jones and maybe some of those kind of stunts and escapades that maybe he can't do as much of now, of course, given Harrison Ford's real life age. Final positive that I've got here is Mads Mikkelsen, who of course plays our villain as shown in the trailer. Now, I think that Mads Mikkelsen does a good job for what he is given. There's elements that I find myself really buying into his performance more times than others, but going into the negatives here. So what I mentioned before about Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Mads Mikkelsen. Now, Mads Mikkelsen, I feel like, as I mentioned, does good for what he is given, but I really can't say that I think he's the best villain that this franchise has ever had, and nor can I think or give and say to you that I think that he has like the most character depth and development that he could have had to really just, you know, implore his character even more with the motivations, and for you as an audience to really, you know, have this character like really under your skin and detest him to the point where you want to see him meet a kind of, you know, bad ending. When I mentioned about Phoebe Waller-Bridge before, see, for some part of this movie I actually liked her character, but there was elements where it took me some time to really buy into her character and really care about her, because unfortunately kind of for the first half of the movie I would say she came across kind of rather annoying, and I don't think that this is the actress' fault whatsoever. And there is moments in here, guys, I think it's kind of shown in the trailer here to an extent, where there is some green screen CG moments that don't look so great. To be honest with me, I wasn't bothered by it too much, and I don't think it was that bad to the extent where I was completely took out or ripped out of the movie, because I wasn't, which was actually a really nice surprise. Really good installment into this franchise, and for me personally, I found myself just really enjoyed it, a smile on my face. And as I left the movie theatre, a lot of people, or even just random people I don't even know, came out and like, yeah, you know, that was a really good movie, really enjoyed that, really liked the ending, found this better to be far better than Crystal Skull, and a lot of people said that on Walkout as well. So I think overall you guys are probably going to have a good time with this movie. So my overall score for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is a 3.5 out of 5 stars. So are you going to check out this movie? Are you excited for it? I'll leave any and all comments down below if you have seen it, or you're going to check it out, or you're actually just going to give it a hard pass. Let me know either way and we can continue the discussion down there. If you've enjoyed the review, give it a big thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel by clicking the red button down below so I can see you again on a future video. And until the next time that I see you guys, I'll be seeing you later.